John Samuel Cox III. He is here on case number 2022 GS 450061. He was charged with strong armed robbery. He is represented by Mr. Virgil Barr of the Westboro County Public Defender's Office. Your Honor, he is here to plead guilty to this charge this morning. The state is recommending a time served sentence that includes probation and drug court, a special condition of that probation, and also.
Okay. Hope you got a sentencing sheet. Mr. Cox, you want to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You had enough time to talk to your lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied with his representation? Anybody promise you anything or threaten you in any way to get you? You under the influence of alcohol or drugs today?
No.
You have any mental diseases that would keep you from understanding what you're doing here today? You understand this carries up 18 years in prison as a felon?
Yes, Your Honor.
By pleading, you've given up your constitutional right to remain silent because you're telling me you're guilty, you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're also giving up your right to a jury trial. If you went to trial, the state would have to prove you guilty of these charges beyond a reasonable doubt to all 12 jurors. You'll be able to sit in this courtroom and confront each witness that would testify against you. Your lawyer can cross-examine the state's witness. He can subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. He can put up any defenses you have, but when you plead guilty, you give all that up, you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you want to appeal this guilty plea, okay, you got to do it in 10 days. You give that right up as well, you understand? So listen.
May I please report time?
Yes,
I'm sorry. Can we stand down? He is actively on probation. This plea will be a probation violation, and we will honor that.
Okay.
And he's on probation for burglary, said.
Okay.
Here, this charge happened, he's not actually on parole. This charge happened at the same time that he was placed on parole. One charge happened in Williamsburg County, one was in Florence County. Florence County, he got sentenced the first time, he was released on parole, but the offenses happened around the same time, according to the offense date, so we okay with it.
So this won't violate his parole?
No, sir.
Okay. And I don't know his rights with him. I was waiting on supposed to tell me that.
And Your Honor, on April 11, 2020, Sergeant Grayson with the Williamsburg County Sheriff's Office, along with other family members, she did appear to be in distress and was crying. She stated at around 5:30 a.m. that morning, she heard knocking at her front door. She said she didn't answer the door when she observed it was her adult son standing there. She said that he did have a previous drug habit, so she was reluctant to open the door. That's when he rushed in the door with her pocketbook and she was containing some cash, her bank card, and medications. She told officers that she was taking Xanax, blood pressure pills, and some pain medicine. She stated that he knows where she keeps all her medication and knows that she keeps it in her purse. Ms. Cox stated that he also took an iPhone cell phone that was golden colored and valued about $600. No serial numbers were available at the time to give law enforcement, but she did provide her cell phone number for the phone. Ms. Cox stated that her son did assault her in the process and rushing into the house by shoving her several times and causing her to fall. She said she did try to follow him outside as he was leaving with the purse. She said she observed him get into a pickup truck with a trailer attached that also had a zero-turn long bar attached to the trailer. That's when he sped up the property at a high rate of speed and turned left out of her driveway, headed towards Highway 378. She said that her son resided at that time with her estranged husband and McCutcheon Road at the time, and it was unknown whether or not he was returning there or anything else that he had in his possession. Ms. Cox did sustain several bruises on her leg and knee area, and officers took pictures of her bruises and provided a victim notification form along with the pamphlet to Ms. Cox. As I stated, she's here present. If she wishes to address the court at any time, she's willing to do so.
Okay. Mr. Cox, those facts correct?
Yes, Your Honor, those are correct.
Okay, I'll find as a factual basis for your plea is really voluntarily and then until you've had advice from competent counsel. When you tell me satisfied, I'll accept it. Yes, ma'am, you want to tell me anything? All right, what you want to tell me?
May it please the court, Your Honor, we don't disagree with the facts. I have the pleasure of meeting. She shares the same concern as that she just wants John to be on the straight and narrow, and we were asking the court to accept the recommendation of the state I believe that he's a good young man. He's just suffering from an addiction, still suffering from an addiction, but in my conversations with him, he's addressed that he wants to move forward, and he's using this as an avenue to springboard into recovery. So we just ask the court to.
And tell me about his parole. You currently on parole?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how long have you been out?
7, 8 months.
And what sentence do you have hanging over your head on parole?
I went off parole in 2023.
So what sentence did you originally get?
6 years sentence. not
6
allowed.
years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, the sentence you committed to the State Department of Corrections for a term of 5 years. That sentence is suspended and placed on probation for 2 years. Special condition, you must complete drug court. Now, where do you live?
149 Spring Road, Lake City, South Carolina.
Is that in Florence County?
Winsburg. But it's Lake City area.
Okay. Okay, because I was trying to figure out what probation officer you're for to. So you'll be under Miss Land here. And I can tell you, Miss Land's tough now.
Yes, sir.
You get dirty with her, she'll give you more time than I will. All right. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Mason, you want to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
You had enough time to talk to your lawyer fellows about alcohol and drugs today.
No, sir.
If you have any mental disease that keep you from understanding what you're doing.
No, sir.
You understand this carries up to 10 years in prison.
Yes, sir.
This case has not been submitted to the grand jury. You want to waive that?
Yes, sir.
By pleading, you're giving up your constitutional right to remain silent because you're telling me you're guilty, you understand?
Yes, sir.
You also have a constitutional right to a jury trial. If you went to trial, the state would have to prove you guilty. These charges beyond a reasonable doubt in all 12 jurors. You'll be able to sit in the courtroom and confront each witness that will testify against you. Your lawyer can cross-examine the state's witnesses and he can subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. But when you plead guilty, you give all that up. You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you want to appeal this guilty plea today, you've got to do so in 10 days. You get that right up as well. You understand? So let's do it.
Your Honor, December the 19th of 2021, dispatch was sent to 68 Wildflower Road in Hemingway in response to a disturbance. A neighbor had called and said that there was a person there that was under the influence of drugs and had possibly shot himself, had a firearm, and would not give up the baby that he had. They arrived and it was a chaotic scene. They saw the defendant. He had the infant with him, and he was acting erratically. He actually ran out in front of the officers, and they had to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting him. He had a small pistol in his back right pocket. He placed the child down on the ground and saw law enforcement, and then resisted arrest when they put their hands on him and tried to arrest him. He appeared to be under the influence of narcotics while this was going on. He was talking nonsensically. Discovered this child had in his hand a small pack or an amount of what we believe to be methamphetamine. It's inside of a folded dollar bill, Your Honor.
I couldn't, that last, say that again.
I'm sorry, I was establishing that he is the father of the child, and that's why it's unlawful.
Okay.
She was an infant. I don't have her exact age.
She's a year and a half old now, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Mason, those facts correct?
Yes, sir.
I find as a factual basis your plea is freely and voluntarily entered into, and you've had advice of competent counsel who can tell me satisfied I'll accept it. Lloyd?
Your Honor, briefly, he's 35 years old, he's single. Your Honor, he has one other child, a 13-year-old boy, for which he pays child support of $530 a month, for which I think he's current. He's a graduate of Johnsonville High. He attended Georgetown Technical College. He's currently employed at Johnsonville Mechanical. Makes $19 an hour as a pipe fitter. Your Honor, as you know, I think you've been doing this long enough that you see the problem here. The whole root of this problem is drugs, and Mr. Mason is not an evil spirit or unkind man. Since this began, he has been in touch with DSS. He has enrolled in parenting classes. He has completed he will complete his 9th class today. He tells me that he can take a drug test right now, hair follicle which he's already done for DSS, or a urine, and he will pass. I think he is a perfect candidate for drug court. Here today with him, he has a good support staff, his mother. She's a chiropractor over in Hemingway where he lives in her home. And Your Honor, we would just ask that you accept this plea, and hopefully he'll be successful and can move on with his life. I will tell you, Your Honor, he is very anxious to be reunited with this minor child. He's done everything I've asked him to do since I was retained.
Okay. Is he having any time in jail? When he arrested?
3 days, Your Honor.
That's right. All right, sentence of the court is you committed to the State Department of Corrections for a term of 1 year. That sentence is suspended and placed on probation for 1 year. Special condition of probation, you must complete drug court, random alcohol and drug testing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck.
Thanks, sir. This is Christian News TY. I'm Tony Conyers. Is there any newsworthy events in Williamsburg County? We will get them to you as soon as possible. If not, you can follow us on Christian News TY Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube, and you can follow us on our website.